Hi, I'm Tim Brooks with the Brooks Group at Keller Williams Realty, and I wanted to thank you for taking the time to go over this buyer presentation with me because it'll be so important for the rest of the buying process. We want you to be the most educated buyer in the market so we can get the best deal for you. Now, what we're going to be covering here today are market conditions, inventory, pre-approval process and why that's so important for you, agency and how that benefits you, MLS and the internet, for sale by owners, and new construction. Understanding the market, salesperson versus a consultant. In this market, you need a consultant versus a salesperson. Let me ask, do you like being high pressured into making a decision? Nobody does. That's why our team has fully committed to the consultative approach to selling. I'll present you with the options and you will make an educated decision. How does that sound to you? Buyer's market versus a seller's market. Do you know what a buyer's market is versus a seller's market? Well, being in a seller's market, that means the sellers are getting about everything they want and then some. A buyer's market means that we get to beat the seller up on their price. Right now we're in a neutral market, and that means on certain properties that have high desirability, the sellers are pretty much getting what they're looking for because there will be oftentimes multiple contract situations. Now, in other cases, we may find the right property that other people haven't noticed yet, or we're the first ones at the deal, and in that case there, we may be able to get quite a bit off of the list price. Market condition and inventory. The average list price to sales price ratio is 98.53%. And what that means is, on average, buyers are getting a property for 98.53% of what it was actually listed for. For example, say a $300,000 property, which is the average sales price in our area right now, 98.53% of that would be $295,590. That is the average actual selling price for a property listed at $300,000. Now, the reason that I share the averages with you is because I'd rather turn you down now than disappoint you later if you think that you can offer 30 or 20% less than the asking price. Does that make sense? Did you know that at these interest rates today, for every $1,000 you get off the sales price, it only affects your payment by $6.85 per month? And I tell you this because if we find that perfect home and you have to spend $1,000, $2,000, or even $5,000 over the asking price, you can see it's not the end of the world, can't you? Now, right now, listing inventory is up 30% from the same time last year. And when inventory is up, that means that demand goes down. When demand goes down, prices go down, which is good for us. Now, pre-approval for your financing. This benefits you as a buyer. It turns you into a cash buyer. Now, you are interested in saving money on your purchase, aren't you? So let's say you're the seller and you have two offers on your home. One is a cash offer for the full asking price, and the other is $1,000 over the full asking price, but the buyers haven't been to see a lender yet. They haven't had their credit checked, and even the realtor doesn't know if they can qualify. You need to move to Florida in 4 weeks, and you have to make a decision now. Which offer will you take? The sure deal for cash, or take your chances to get that extra $1,000? The sure deal, right? Well, pre-approval on a loan makes you that sure deal. It turns you into a cash buyer, and it also saves you money for exactly the reason that we talked about. It gives you leverage in a multiple offer situation and gives you confidence, and that is going to be so important once you're pre-approved and you know what that pre-approval price is. When we go looking at properties and it's within that range, you're going to look at that house differently because you know for a fact that you can buy that home if you so choose. The benefits of buyer agency. 100% of my clients choose buyer agency. Like we talked about before, the average list price to sales price ratio is 98.53%. My averages are 95.39%. That means the average buyer out there with the average agent is going to pay 98.53% of that list price. My clients on average pay 95.39%, so you can see what a savings that is. I'm able to see over 100 homes per month. Every new piece of inventory coming on the market, I make it a point to go out there and visit that home and make sure that I know its features and benefits. Now, buyer instant notification. What I'll do is take all of the criteria that you want in your new home and add that to my computer program. I'll pull up everything that's available through every real estate company in our area that matches your criteria. We'll go through them one by one and decide which one you'd like to see. Then I'll check every day using that same criteria, and when that perfect home comes up, you'll be the first to know about it. That is important to you, isn't it? Now, one of my previous clients said that the buyer instant notification was worth around $2,000 to him. So we decided to just charge him $1,400 for the system. Now, I'm just kidding. It's actually free for you as my clients. If you decide to have me as your agent, you never have to worry about that. Now, I can answer you in a paragraph instead of a sentence. And what I mean by that is if I know what a seller's motivating factors are, such as a divorce or relocation, as a buyer's agent, I can tell you every single thing that I know, therefore increasing your leverage in the negotiations. Now, as a sub-agent or as the listing agent to the seller or a transactional broker, I can't tell you anything. Which would you prefer? Can you see the benefits of having a buyer's agent? Now we'll go over the MLS and the internet. How do I get paid? All of my fees are paid by the seller. No matter how great of a deal we negotiate, the seller still pays. All brokers have access to the same information. The biggest difference in brokers is the speed they can get you that information. I tell you this because I've had clients in the past that didn't understand that I can show them any listing out there. So if the home is listed by ABC or XYZ company, I can show you that home, represent your best interest, and the best part of that is that the seller pays all of my fees. So if you see a sign on a property for sale, call me first, okay? For sale by owners. Call me first. Why? Well, for sale by owners will pay my commission. Attorneys or real estate agents, well, the for sale by owner either pays an attorney or a broker to write the contract, but attorneys are paid by the what? That's right, the hour. I've seen attorneys even get their clients into dispute so that they can charge more. I only get paid if you get the home, so I want to see you close. Can you see the benefit of using me instead of an attorney? New home builders. Builders pay all of my fees. I have an open house guest pass here for you that I'm also going to be sending to you. You don't want every salesperson in the area calling you, do you? Use that open house guest pass and the on-site salesperson will call me instead of you. The benefit is your representation. On-site salesperson represents the seller. I represent you. Now let's talk about shopping for your perfect home. I've discovered that there is no such thing as the perfect home. You'll find a home that may have the perfect backyard but the kitchen is too small, or the kitchen is perfect but the family room is not exactly what you're looking for. What we need to do is find the home that has the least amount of concessions to buy. Fair enough? And don't be surprised if the first home we see is the one you want to buy. The reason I tell you this is, if you're good at telling me what you want and I listen to what you're telling me, I should be able to take you right to it. And you do want to see the best homes first, don't you? Now, the average buyer working with me looks at 5 homes before finding the right one. And the most important key to finding the right home quickly is your feedback. One of the ways I'll know if you're interested in purchasing any of these homes I'll be showing you is I'll ask you if you'd like to buy it. And hopefully that'll be okay. And by the way, if I forget to ask, please remind me. The purchase contract. Now I've attached the purchase contract, a generic version of it. I want you to go through the entire contract so that when you find the right home, you can quickly ensure that we get the home you want. This is a standard form and it's approved by the Real Estate Commission. The earnest money deposit. This is a check you write with the offer. It'll be cashed when your offer is accepted. The earnest money amount will be about 2% of the total price. Usually between 1 and 2% is about average for an earnest money deposit. Inspecting your new home. Inspections are for major items only, such as the roof, structure, heating, and plumbing. The reason I tell you this is I've seen so many buyers such as yourselves lose the perfect home over silly little things like the linoleum is coming up in the corner or the tile is loose in the shower. By presenting these types of items on the inspection, you're going to upset the seller and maybe lose the house. And I don't want to see that to happen to you. Appraising your new home. The average cost paid by a buyer is about $350, and depending on the lender, that can range from $350 to $425. Now the best part about this is you won't overpay for the property. You can't overpay for it because the lender requires that the property come in at that value. So if you're in a multiple offer situation and you have to offer $3,000, $5,000, or even $10,000 over the full asking price to get the home, and it's not actually worth that value, the seller must reduce their price to the appraised value. And in this market, the way it's been appreciating, I don't think there's anything wrong with paying what a property is worth. Do you? Now you'll actually pay that $350 fee once we actually have a purchase contract. The lender will collect that from you. At this point here, the next step is loan approval. This now means you have a full loan commitment from the loan officer and the lending institution. You now have a reason to celebrate because all of the contingencies of the contract are now removed. It's time to start packing. Closing and taking title. All of your time and efforts have paid off. Bring a cashier's check to closing along with your ID made payable to the title company for the down payment and closing costs. Bring your driver's license. Now I just wanted to talk about my team real quick. One of the great benefits to working with me and my team is that you're always working with a specialist. Each of us specializes in our own area. I, for example, specialize in the negotiation process. I have a buyer specialist who actually specializes in our search and finding that perfect property based upon the buyer interview with you. You're going to benefit by knowledge, availability, and communication. For each of us, you're going to be able to call myself, my buyer specialist, or our administrative person directly with any questions related to that. You'll always be able to get a hold of us at any time. The average realtor working by themselves has to do all of these things all at the same time. Very scatterbrained. With us, you've got me, Michelle, Dan, call coordinator, our courier, buyer specialist, marketing coordinator. Each one of those is responsible for only that specific task. Now our goals, we want to get the best price with the fewest hassles in the time frame that you desire. I just wanted to briefly touch on referrals because they're the lifeblood of our business. I wanted to ask you, who do you know at work, friends, school, church, Twitter, Facebook? Will you call me if you have somebody that you know of that can use our help? I do want to go over some added value real quick. We do have a general contractor who works with us who's added a discounted remodeling program. Now once you move into the property, or even prior to that, if you wanted to touch up the paint or paint the whole property, the flooring, carpet, kitchens, bathrooms, whatever you want to do, they've offered a discount. Once again, you are working with a team of specialists. My buyer agent specialist, our administrative person, and myself as the lead agent and negotiator. I also have a love it or leave it guarantee. This is a guarantee that we put in place to make sure that you're 100% satisfied with the home that you purchase. If within 6 months you are not fully satisfied with your home, we will sell it for free. The only thing you have to pay for is the co-op agent's commission, and the purchase of your next home from us. I'm the only agent that offers this type of guarantee. Would this be of value to you? Also, we have customer appreciation functions that we'd like to invite you to from time to time. And once again, you finally get the convenience of one-stop shopping. Everything from the loan officer, the general contractor, inspectors, anything that we may need with this transaction, you can get it right here with us. And it's all free. Once again, I wanted to thank you again for watching my buyer presentation. I'm really looking forward to working with you and finding you that property that's going to be just right for you at a price that works for you in your time frame. I just wanted you to know I'm going to be sending you our buyer agreement, which establishes our agency relationship and makes me officially your agent. Congratulations.